Svenska, finländska hails. Today we have a band that is from Finland, but from the Swedish spoken part of the country, from a small city called Pietarsaari. Why this city is worth mentioning, I guess, is that it's also home to many other, interesting bands from Finland, such as And Oceans. And as such, that small town has provided a lot of different artists from various fields of metal music from Finland. Now, today's band is a actually side project of sorts. You might remember my recent review of Fund. Well, you probably won't understand my pronunciation, which probably isn't even right, but after all, you got the links, you can pretty much find out. That was one of the better albums of this year so far. Really grim, proper black metal. Now, this is kind of a side project of that band, having members not only from that band, but other bands as well, but that being like the core of this band as well. So this one is called Dispyt, and then ständigt, närvarande, ångesten, or something in that direction. So let's start with the booklet as usual. Here is the cover, which is kind of very artistic. Here's the lineup. As you can see, 5 guys basically on this album, even though the core of the band, it seems to be smaller, and the rest of the information here. Then we have these lyrics, which are all in Swedish. So I'm not gonna take any note of that. My Swedish isn't good, actually really, really bad. Here's once again the band picture, sort of a lineup. More lyrics. So as you can see, the style is kind of a punkish, hardcore-ish, old school. And that actually brings us to the topic, the genre. Well, this is not exactly metal as such. No, wait a second before you go. Let's say this is half death metal, half crust. You heard it right. Kind of a combination of punkish elements, crust, death metal, even tiny amount of black metal. Not black metal as maybe riff-wise and sort of that sort, but you know, kind of a blackish, kind of a dark feeling. But most of all, this is about aggression, in your face, kind of a punching, and spitting your guts out. The sound-wise, this reminds me a lot of 1990 Swedish death metal bands, and that is a compliment, by the way. You know, the Sunlight Studio sound. So kind of a really, really heavy enough to crush skulls and bones and whatnot, but also kind of a like motor running, and it's kind of a good. But the problem is with this less than a 27 minutes length of an album is that this album gets really monotone after a while. Now, the reason isn't with the sound, obviously, and it's not with the aggression. It's more like this is a one-trick pony. And for people who are really, really into crust and all this kind of a punkish aggression, I don't think that's a deal breaker by no means, because after all, this is mostly good than anything else. But to be honest, I think this is like a few steps away from being actually great or even good. Because the thing here is, once you get this fully through, you're pretty much stuffed and you're like, man, I don't need any of this right at the moment. Give it a few more spins and you're probably having kind of a nauseating effect, like, oh, now this is getting really boring. Now, obviously, there are albums which are more, say, more suitable for kind of lots of repetition. You can go with, I don't know, Rain in Blood and give it a 10 goes and you probably won't be bored. Same applies to certain black metal albums as well, etc. But this is more like a kind of appetizer, kind of something you put in between, some other albums. So by no means I'm saying this is a bad one. I'm trying to underline it because sometimes people take it way too negative when I'm just trying to be slightly negative here. So my point is, this is rather good an album, but it could be a lot better with more variation and, more diversity. Now it seems like all these tracks are just basically the same track with a tiny little bit of a different angle. Of course, there's difference between riffs and all that stuff, but to be honest, there are no killer riffs. not the type of riffs you just start humming while you're, I don't know, brushing your teeth, driving a car, or masturbating. To be honest, this could be a lot better. Now, the fact side should be also mentioned. This was originally released a couple of years ago as a indie CDR and I think tape version. So now this is actually getting a proper CD, a release, and a vinyl release, if I understood correctly, by Immoral Frost. So if this album name sounds familiar, and you might have heard the tracks before, that is because it has been out there for almost 18 months prior to this one. But now this is the proper one. So if you missed those CDRs or you didn't want to get them even though you like the music, now it's really good chance to get your real hands-on to the real deal here. So for CRUST fanatics and the like, definitely a must-go to check out this album. For other people, I don't know, maybe not so much. At least go check out those Bandcamp samples before you do your decision. That would be my advice. But I don't know, lots of aggression, Swedish, Finnish mentality, good stuff. See ya and take care.